There are two contracts that let you get paid on houses you never buy. The first one locks up a discounted property with almost none of your own money and lets you walk away for any reason and owe nothing. The second one sells that deal to an investor and puts a check in your name. People pay thousands of dollars for courses that teach these two documents that I am giving you right now for free. This is part 2 of the Ladder Systems Real Estate Wholesaling Deep Dive. If you haven't watched the first part, please go watch that now. Where we left off was on the contract that locks up a deal but lets you walk away for any reason and owe nothing, and the second contract that turns it into a check in your name. You should have the two contracts now. If not, then go get them so you can follow along. Link is in the description. This is the deep dive on the contracts rung of the ladder system. Let's climb. In the last video, I showed you the find it part and the value it part. Now we turn to the lock it part and the sell it part. Now, for the next part, people pay thousands to learn. The contract. This is the exact purchase and sale agreement I gave you free at the end of the last video, and we're going to fill it out together right now, section by section. Quick but important note before we start. While I was a lawyer in Florida, this is not legal advice. Instead, this is an education. These forms are for educational purposes only. You need to hire your own lawyer in your area for legal advice and proper contracts. Contract and wholesaling rules vary by state and they change. Before you use any contract on a real deal, have a licensed attorney in your property's state review it. That one review is cheap insurance and could help you avoid a lawsuit. At this point, I would highly recommend you pause this video and go, subscribe and click on the links in the description of this video, and go get the documents so you can follow along. Okay, let's get into it. The effective date. Right at the top. This is the date the last person signs and delivers the agreement. Circle it in your mind because 2 clocks start ticking from this date. You'll see them in a minute. Section 1 Parties. The seller's full legal name, exactly as it appears on the deed. Not close. Exactly. A mismatch here can kill a closing. If the deed shows more than one owner, like husband and wife, you need all of them to be on the contract and sign, then their address and cell phone. My personal form also gets their email. Then comes you, the buyer. And look closely at what comes after the buyer line, the words and slash or assigns. Do not delete those 3 words. That tiny phrase is what makes this entire contract an asset, because it gives you the right to hand this contract to someone else. More on that in Section 7. Section 2, Property. Street address, city, county, state, zip. Then the parcel number, also called the APN. You'll find it on the county property appraiser's site or on the deed. Then list anything that's included, like appliances, and anything excluded. Section 3, Purchase Price. The number you negotiated, write it in digits and in words. This should be at or below the maximum offer we just calculated. If it isn't, go back to part 2. Section 4, Earnest Money Deposit. This is your skin in the game, and here's the secret. It can be small. $100 to $500 is common. Fill in how many business days you have to deliver it and the name of the escrow holder or title company that will hold it. It gets credited to the price at closing, and as you're about to see, it's refundable if you cancel in time. Section 5, Method of Payment. For a standard wholesale deal, check all cash at closing. Your end investor is bringing cash, not a mortgage. There's a financing option here too, with a 60-day default, but for this strategy, cash is the box you check. Section 6, Inspection and Due Diligence. Everybody pay attention, because this section is your seatbelt, your airbag, and your ejection seat all in one. First, it gives you and anyone you bring, inspectors, contractors, even your future assignee, the right to access the property during daylight hours with a courtesy 24 hours notice to the seller. But here's the headline. For 60 calendar days after the effective date, you have the absolute and unconditional right to cancel this agreement, for any reason, or for no reason at all. You deliver a written notice, the deal ends, and your deposit comes back in full. No penalty, no questions. 60 days. Think about what that means. You have 2 full months to inspect the property, verify your numbers, and find your investor. And if anything at all doesn't work out, You walk away and owe nothing. That is why I said zero risk of getting stuck. This section is the reason. One warning, the contract says time is of the essence. Day 60 means day 60. Put it in your calendar the moment you sign, and set up advanced reminders to notify you in advance that a deadline is coming up. Don't ever let a deadline slip through the cracks. Section 7. Assignment. Here's where or assigns pays off. This section says the contract is fully assignable to any person or entity without needing the seller's consent. And once your assignee takes over the obligations, you're released. This is the legal machinery that lets you sell your deal for a fat fee. Section 8. Seller disclosures. This one matters more than it looks. Within 7 days of the effective date, the seller must complete, sign, and return a seller's disclosure statement. And yes, a disclosure form is included free in your package. Here's what you do. At the signing table, hand the seller the disclosure form and ask them to complete it. Your contract requires them to return it to you within 7 days. Why does this matter so much? Because it can reveal problems you had no idea about. Roof leaks, sinkhole claims, unpermitted work. And in states like Florida, a seller's duty to disclose known hidden defects can even carry consequences after closing. If a seller knowingly hides something that costs you money, you may be entitled to pursue damages. Ask your attorney about your state, but the lesson is simple. Always get the disclosure. If anything on it scares you or requires you to revise your repair estimate, remember, you're still inside your 60-day window. You can reduce your offer and have seller sign for the reduced price or walk away after notice. Section 10. Title and closing. Fill in the closing date. Give yourself runway, but keep it fair to the seller. The title company you choose does a title search, and if the title has problems, the seller gets up to 30 days to fix them. If they can't, you can take it as is or cancel and get your deposit back. The seller conveys with a general warranty deed, the strongest form of deed, and pays for the owner's title policy unless you agree otherwise. Section 11. Condition of property and possession. You're buying as is. That's the whole point. We buy problems at a discount. The seller has to keep the property and their insurance in at least current condition until closing. And at closing, you get it vacant unless there's a written lease attached. If tenants are in place, the seller owes you copies of the leases and a rent and deposit statement within 30 days. Section 12. Risk of loss. If the house burns down before closing, that's the seller's problem, not yours. If they can't restore it, or the damage tops 1% of the price, you can take the insurance money and the house, or cancel and get your deposit back. But under Section 6, if you are still in the 60-day period, you can always cancel for any reason. Section 13. Notices. Fill in both email addresses. This is not busy work. This is how your 60-day cancellation gets delivered if you ever need it. An email with confirmation counts. No emails, no clean cancellation. Fill them in. If I cancel a contract, I prepare a formal written letter and send by both mail and email, and I ask for the seller to reply to the email. After sending, I send seller a text message that I just sent them an email. Don't use only one method. Section 14. Default and remedies. If you back out after your 60 days expire, the seller keeps your small deposit, and that's their only remedy. That's your worst case, and it's exactly why we keep the deposit small. If the seller defaults, you get your deposit back. Or you can force the sale with an entitlement to sue for specific performance, i.e., the sale of the property per contract terms. Sections 15 through 17 are mostly pre-written protections. Taxes and rents get prorated at closing. You can be more specific here, so check your local customs and add them here. There's a checklist of riders you can attach if the deal needs one: financing, HOA, attorney review, and the general provisions where you fill in your state, and note that electronic signatures count. Section 18. Signatures. Both sides sign, date, and print names. You sign as yourself and / or assigns, or as your LLC with your title. And here's a rule that saves deals. If the seller is married, get both husband and wife to sign. Look at the deed to make sure the person signing actually has legal ownership. If you have any doubt at all, call your attorney before you sign, not after. That's the whole contract. You just learned in 10 minutes what most people never learn at all. And there's a fill-in-the-blank checklist for this exact form in your free package, so you never have to memorize any of it. And feel free to rewatch this video until you have it down pat. You found it, valued it, and locked it. Now let's get you paid. First, who buys these contracts? Cash buyers, fix and flip investors, and landlords who want deals brought to them. And here's the golden rule. Build your buyers list before you need it. You always want more buyers than deals. So, when you're performing the Find It Part 1 we covered in the last video, you must also be building out your wholesale buyers list and contacts. So, where do they gather? Your local real estate investor association? Find them by doing an internet search for your city name plus real estate investor associations. Foreclosure auctions, go just to watch, and notice who's bidding, especially who keeps getting outbid. Exchange business cards, with your referral program. Also, there's hard money lenders. Their whole client list is flippers. Title companies, property managers, investor-friendly agents. Even county records. Look up recent cash sales in your target zips, and the LLCs buying multiple houses for cash are your people. And drive your area. See a house being rehabbed? Stop and introduce yourself. Before you hand your deal to anyone, vet them. 3 checks. Does the deal fit their buy box, meaning the areas, property types, and price ranges they actually buy? Can they show proof of funds and recent closings, not just talk? And will they put down a non-refundable deposit, paid straight to the title company when they sign? If the answer to that last one is no, keep looking. A deal isn't sold until the assignment is signed and the deposit is in escrow. You can make finding buyers easier by using PropStream.com's system. It has a list of cash buyers which identifies non-owner occupied properties that were purchased through an all-cash transaction, or no mortgage. There's a link in the description of this video for a free trial to PropStream. Go check it out. Now, the second contract. The assignment of contract. This is the document that turns your signed purchase agreement into a check in your name. Let's fill it out together. At the top, the parties. You are the assigner, the one handing over the contract. Just write your name in that line right now so you don't forget. Next, your investor is the assignee. Notice they also get in slash or assigns after their name, so they can move it again if they need to. The background section, letters A through D. This is pure copy work. The date of your purchase agreement, the seller's name, the property address, and the purchase price. Copy them exactly from the signed purchase agreement. And notice letter D. A complete copy of that purchase agreement gets attached to this assignment as Exhibit A. Hear me on this. No Exhibit A, no deal. The assignment transfers a contract, so the contract must be attached. Section 1. Assignment of rights. This transfers everything you hold, including your equitable interest and your remaining cancellation rights, to the buyer. And see this checkbox? If you check it, the transfer only takes effect once you've been paid in full. If you're not collecting a deposit up front, check that box. It's your protection. Section 2. Assumption. Pre-written. Your buyer steps into your shoes, takes over the obligations, and once the deal closes, you're released. Section 3. The assignment fee. The best section in the whole package. This is your payday. Write the fee you negotiated. These fees are often worth thousands of dollars, sometimes more than $10,000, depending on the spread in the deal. Then check how you get paid. Option 1. A non-refundable deposit to you now, with the balance at closing through the title company. Option 2. The full fee at closing as a line item on the settlement statement. Either way, notice the wording. The fee is earned when the assignment is signed, and the closing agent is instructed in writing, right here in the contract, to pay you at closing. That written instruction is how you make sure your check doesn't get forgotten at the closing table. Section 4. Earnest money. 2 choices. Either the buyer reimburses the deposit you already put down, or they post their own and yours comes back. Check 1, fill the number. Sections 5 through 7 are your armor, and they're pre-written. You promise only that the attached contract is real, unchanged, and yours to assign. You make 0 promises about the property itself. The buyer takes it as is and does their own homework. and the buyer acknowledges in writing that you're acting for your own account and earning a profit on this assignment. That transparency protects you. Section 8. Failure to close. Fill in what happens to the fee if the deal dies because of the seller, for example, refunded to assignee. In every other case, your fee is non-refundable. If the buyer gets cold feet, that's on them, not you. Section 9. Closing. From here, the buyer closes directly with the seller under the original contract. Your work is done. Sections 10 and 11. Notices and governing law. Both parties' contact info and your property's state. Section 12. Signatures. You and the buyer sign and date. And below that, there's an optional seller acknowledgement. Our purchase agreement doesn't require the seller's consent to assign, so you usually won't need it. But if you ever use a contract that does, that block is ready. Then staple the signed purchase agreement behind it as Exhibit A. Get that non-refundable deposit into escrow, and congratulations, you just sold your first contract. Your first real estate wholesaling deal done. And yes, this form has its own fill-in-the-blank checklist in the free package too. Before I hand you the contracts, 60 seconds on staying clean, because this channel is called Laws for Wealth for a reason. Wholesaling real estate is legal in most places, but the rules are tightening, and they're different in every state. Some states now require a license or registration after a deal or two. So here are the rules that keep you safe everywhere. Market your contract, your position in the deal, not the property itself. Publicly advertising a house you don't own can look like acting as an unlicensed agent. Be honest with sellers that you may assign the contract for a profit. Our paperwork already discloses it. Lead with empathy. These are real people in hard situations, and before your first real deal, spend the small money to have an attorney in your state look over these documents. Educational templates get you 90% there. Your attorney ensures you're compliant with local laws. Now, let's get you paid. So let's put the whole machine together. You set up your inbound system so no lead slips away. You hunt where motivated sellers actually are, and you stack the signals. You run the 70% math so you never overpay. You lock the deal with a contract that gives you 60 days and zero risk of getting stuck. You hand the seller a disclosure form that protects you. And you sell your contract to a vetted cash buyer with a written instruction that pays you at the closing table. That's Rung 1. That's the machine. And now you need the tools. Here's everything I'm giving you, free. The complete Rung 1 contract package. 16 pages, the assignable purchase and sale agreement we just walked through. Its fill-in-the-blank checklist. The important seller's property disclosure form, the assignment of contract, and its checklist too. To get it, do two things. First, subscribe so you don't miss a single rung of this ladder. Then click on the link in the description of this video, and my AI agent will send the whole package straight to you. That's it. Go grab your tools and go take massive action. Not someday, right now. Get a calendar, put what you plan on doing each day this week, and then follow it. Even doing something 1 hour a day will move you forward to having your own wealth machine. The faster you start, the faster you get to where you want to be. Now, you might be wondering, once you've done a few of these deals and stacked up those assignment fees, what's next? Next, we climb. In the next video, house flipping with OPM, real-world risk analysis. I'll show you how to take the fees you earned here and step up to buying, fixing, and flipping houses using other people's money, and exactly where the risks hide, including the move I used with my contractor that cut my risk and multiplied my deals. You just finished Rung 1, Episode 2. Next up is Rung 2, Episode 3, and it's coming soon. Go subscribe and don't miss it, and I'll see you on the climb.